And a lot of times we just won't change it because of our fear, because maybe we put our customers first before ourselves, and we don't want to innovate or whatever the case is. And then when bad things happen, we start to resent the business. No, it's you. It's me. We're the problems. And I realized that I can set my business up in any way that I want to. Now, people don't have to purchase stuff from me, or they don't have to buy it in that way. But here's what I can tell you as you're listening to this podcast. What I can tell you after nearly 19 years of being in business, what I can tell you is this. Somebody will. Somebody will buy it.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me. Today, I want to talk about building an anti-resentment business. Yesterday, I spent the day thinking, reflecting on the past year, and more importantly, making the decisions of what do I want my next calendar year to look like. And I did that, and it's not just for me. I'm not a single guy. I have a family. I have a wife. I have 4 kids. And yesterday was a day that I set aside to decide how I want to create an anti-resentment business. And so that's what I want to talk about on today's podcast. I want to talk about building an anti-resentment business because our job in business is to serve others. And if we serve others with solving a problem that they need to have solved, then people will pay us money in exchange for the service that we give. And that's how your business can grow and thrive. But your business needs to be set up in a way to where you're not going to resent the business. I've not always done that. In the beginning, when you're starting a business, like you just need the thing to work. You need people to pay you money. You need to build the confidence and the belief that, oh my gosh, someone wants what it is that I have. And I remember doing that with my physical therapy business and with my first ever fitness business. And even when I became a consultant for the first time in 2009, it's like, you'll do anything to just get someone to take out their wallet and pay you money. Okay. And so there is a time in business where you must do whatever it takes just to see if you can get it off the ground and to see if your idea is valid and it's real and it holds weight to it. Okay, that's great. But now, what will happen once you get the business off the ground? Are you setting the business up to where you're not going to resent the business and the business is not going to destroy the things in your life, which for the most part are the reasons why you created a business in the first place? Okay. And so I remember in 2004, late 2004, early 2005. And I had this conversation with my boss at the time at Core Rehabilitation. And I remember where I was with my family, right? Particularly with my wife. And she was pregnant with our now second child. And I was not home like at all. I worked from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I'd basically leave the house around 6:20 to get to the clinic. After 8 o'clock, I would be doing my notes. I'd probably get home around 8:45, 9 some nights. And then there are some nights where I would go to Saddlebrook Tennis Resorts and work with professional tennis players. And I would get home 12:30, 1 a.m. just to repeat this over and over and over and over again. And then on my weekends, I'd either work with more tennis players or I felt like my value was I needed to become a better physical therapist. So I would go and do continuing ed on a weekend. And I just remember it was destroying my marriage. We were just not connected. We were resentful against each other. And I started to resent my job. And I went to my boss and I said, okay, I need to be able to get one day off a week. Okay, I will work 12-hour shifts on Monday, Tuesday, give me off Wednesday, and then I'll work 12-hour shifts on Thursday, Friday. And my boss said no. And that's the reason why I went into business, is because I couldn't set up my job to be able to make my family life work. Now we get into business And remember what I said in the beginning of the podcast, like we try to do anything possible to get the business to work. But then once the business is working, we have a responsibility every single year, and you do it more than every year, whether it's every quarter, it's every 6 months, to actually set up the business to where you're not going to resent it. Yesterday, I got some news that I'm not going to share on the podcast. It's not with me, but it's with someone that's close to me. And it's very devastating news of something that's going on in their family situation. And I was thinking, like, we have these business. It was just a wake-up call to me. Like, we have these businesses, and we could set it up in a way that allows us to serve our families and allows us to serve our kids, and if you have a spouse, or even serve yourself. And a lot of times we just won't change it because of our fear, because maybe we put our customers first before ourselves, and we don't want to innovate, or whatever the case is. And then when bad things happen, we start to resent the business. No, it's you. It's me. We're the problems. And I realized that I can set my business up in any way that I want to. Now, people don't have to purchase stuff from me, or they don't have to buy it in that way. But here's what I can tell you as you're listening to this podcast. What I can tell you after nearly 19 years of being in business, what I can tell you is this: somebody will buy it if you actually are truly solving a problem in a way that people are like, this way that you're solving the problem, and the fact that you are solving this problem for me is no longer going to keep me up at night. It's going to save my sanity. It's going to save me peace. It's going to collapse my time. They will. It just might not be the people that you're currently serving. So if you have the skill set of attracting new people, if you have the skill set of truly knowing that you are solving a problem for people that they need solved, feel free to change the way that you're solving it so that you are not building a business that you are resentful to. You're very welcome. Yes, I said it. And I'm doing that right now. And every year that I do it, I always notice that my personal life, my family life, my marriage, my relationship, my kids, always benefits when I do that. When I don't sit down and spend the time to actually be intentional about building an anti-resistant or anti-resentful business, when I don't do that, I run into problems in those areas of my life. And so I'm just sharing with you what I just did for myself. Now, I don't know if my customers, many of you are listening, you're my customers, I don't know if you're going to like it. I think it's better than what I'm doing right now for you all, as well as I believe it's going to suit me. But I don't know. I mean, you might like it, you might not. But that's not for me to worry about, because at the end of the day, if I was to lose my relationship with my kids or lose my relationship with my wife, what the hell does all this matter anyways? Like for what? Over what? Keeping a client or two or three or whatever? Freaking who cares, right? It's like, so you have to be very intentional about that. And I just think that that's something that I want you guys to really consider and think about. Are you building a business to where you are going to resent it when you set it up in a way where it's ruining all the things that you say are important in your life? Or are you actually doing the thing that you can do in business that you can't do for yourself if you have a job that your boss doesn't care about you? You have the ability to innovate at any time. You have the ability to set it up and change it at any time. Are you doing that? So just something to think about. I hope that serves you. I hope that helps you. And if you actually need help with building an anti-resentful business, then I would highly advise you to consider coming to SSHC Live, which we're going to have May 31st to June 2nd, because that's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is just talking about the business models that I believe you all need to set up so that you actually have a business that's serving you and you're not just serving it. So I hope that helps you. Till next time.